Once upon a time, there was a woman named Seraphim who was known to be a fearless and adventurous voyager. While traveling through a bustling city, Seraphim stumbled upon a quaint antique shop. She found a weathered old map tucked away on a dusty shelf. The map was of an ancient, lost world, filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. She purchased the map and left the shop, feeling a renewed sense of purpose and direction from that moment on. She was consumed by a burning desire to follow the map to its destination, no matter what obstacles lay in her path. The map eventually led her to a grand clock tower in the out of the city. As Seraphim entered the clock tower, she was struck by its grandeur. The walls were lined with intricate carvings, and the air was filled with the sound of ticking clocks. She could see gears and cogs turning behind glass panels, and the room was illuminated by the flickering glow of candles and lanterns. But amidst all this splendor, her attention was drawn to a small jar placed on a shelf. As she approached it, she realized that there was something alive inside the jar, a strange, otherworldly creature that she had never seen before. It had large, bulbous eyes and a long, slender body that twisted and turned inside the glass container. Seraphim couldn't help but feel drawn to it, and she picked up the jar for a closer look and decided to take the creature with her. Seraphim followed the map she had acquired from the antique shop, its intricate lines and markings leading her through winding streets and hidden alleyways. She walked for hours, the bustling city slowly fading away as she drew closer to her destination. As the sun began to set, Seraphim finally arrived at the entrance of the cave. It was a dark and foreboding place, the entrance obscured by thick vines and overgrown foliage. She could feel a sense of unease creeping up her spine as she approached, but she steeled herself and pushed her way through the thick vegetation. Seraphim found herself standing before a wall pocked with countless holes. Each hole contained a strange creature like the one she had found in the clock tower, and she knew that this was where she was meant to place the jar. As she did so, a bright light erupted from the holes, blinding her momentarily. When she opened her eyes, a secret door had appeared in the wall, beckoning her to step through into the unknown. Without hesitation, Seraphim walked through the door and into a new world, ready for whatever adventures awaited her next. She looked around and immediately saw the huge, strange building. Like an ancient temple, a small group was waiting down in the valley. She found a way down the steep slopes through the group. Just for a while she arrived and saw that she was surrounded by a group of strange creatures. They were tall and slender with skin the color of green. "Welcome, traveler," one of the creatures said, its voice like the soft rustle of leaves. "We have been waiting for you." Seraphim felt a chill run down her spine. "We have given you a special gun," the creature said, holding out a shimmering silver weapon. "With it, you can defeat the evil that threatens our world." Seraphim took the gun, feeling its weight in her hand. It was sleek and futuristic, with a pulsing energy core at its center. Seraphim followed the map through the winding paths of the new world, determined to complete the task that the mature creatures had given her. She trekked through dense forests, crossed raging rivers, and climbed steep mountains, facing all manner of obstacles along the way. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of travel, she arrived at the foot of a towering mountain, where she saw the entrance to an ancient temple carved into the rock face. The temple was massive, with columns and archways stretching up to the sky, and carvings of strange beasts and symbols adorning the walls. Seraphim cautiously approached the temple, her heart pounding in her chest. She could sense that something dangerous was lurking inside. As she stepped through the entrance, she saw a massive monster standing at the far end of the temple. It was twice her size, with razor-sharp claws and teeth that gleamed in the dim light. Its eyes glowed red with a fierce hunger, and it let out a deafening roar as it spotted her. Seraphim gripped the special gun that the creatures had given her fingers trembling with adrenaline. She raised the gun and fired a barrage of energy beams at the monster, dodging its lunges and swipes as she attacked. The monster roared and thrashed, but Seraphim stood her ground, determined to vanquish the beast. Finally, with a final, well-placed shot, she struck the monster's weak point and it collapsed to the ground. Defeated, Seraphim breathed a sigh of relief, feeling a rush of triumph and satisfaction flood through her body. But as she looked around the temple, she saw something that made her heart ache with sorrow. In a nearby cage, she saw a group of young creatures, the children of the creatures who had given her the task. Seraphim knew that she had to free the children and return them to their families. She approached the cage, and with a flick of her wrist, she blasted the lock off with a special gun. The children scurried out of the cage, their eyes wide with fear and wonder. Seraphim comforted them, telling them that they were safe now, and led them back through the temple and out into the sunlight. As she watched the children reunite with their families, Seraphim felt a sense of deep satisfaction and fulfillment. She had completed the task that the mature creatures had given her, and she had saved the world from a great evil. As she sat on a rock, smoking her pipe and waiting for her next adventure, she knew that whatever came next, she was ready to face it head-on, with courage and determination.